Welcome back. A big thank you to Jeff for taking us through the dailies this morning. This is Rise and Shine with me, Shiko Kaittany, and it's all about life lessons from 6:30 to 7 a.m. Now, patience is essential to daily life, and it could actually be the key to a happy one. Now, religion and, of course, philosophers have long praised the virtue of patience, and now researchers are starting to do so as well. And you know what? We'll be telling you that in just a minute. But today, my guest, Dr. Hirbo Huka, tells you why you need to harness this skill to cope with the demands of life, especially in your relationships, and not to mention with yourself. So, karibu sana, Dr. Huka. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Yes, I kept saying earlier on that you have such an interesting name. Where are you from?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Shiko, for having me. It's really a blessing to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Hirbo Huka.
Yeah.
I serve as a medical personnel at Kenyatta University. Besides that, I'm a Christian from Marsabit. Marsabit, right in town.
Wow, I've never met a Christian from Marsabit.
Then you must be happy to see one
today. Yes.
Yeah, so Marsabit has been a Christian town for many years, although we have other Muslim brothers and other religion.
Yes.
Essentially Christian and Muslims.
Yeah.
Quite a number of relatives are Muslims, others are Christians.
That's true.
So we live very, very harmoniously. And besides that, so I oversee a group of churches which we planted in northern Kenya and western Kenya. We call it Global Gospel Church. And so I am the overseer of all these churches.
Okay.
So I double up in the line of medical as well as religion.
Okay, great. Yes. All right, so we want to welcome you yet again, and of course the entire fraternity of, you said Christian Global Church.
Global Gospel Church.
Global Gospel Church.
Yes.
All right, okay, so you'll make sure you take my greetings, huh?
On Sunday morning.
Yes, okay, great. So today we're actually talking about patience. You know, one of the virtues that maybe could be eluding many of us, so to speak. Maybe you can start off by giving us your definition of what patience is all about.
For me, the way I would define patience is ability to stay on despite the difficulties, the hardships, and the long time you take without getting offended or irritated. You're still holding on to your primary goal. Yes.
Okay, that's a good way of describing it.
Yes.
Do you think that you can't, because many of us could probably describe ourselves as patient. You would say that, okay, I'm quick to anger. It's hard for you to describe yourself in that way.
Yes.
But isn't it in the small things that you're really testing, that you're really tested rather, as to whether you're patient or not?
Yeah, there are many things that check whether we are patient or not.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't know whether we're actually patient
until
we are found.
Yes.
Simple. If you're driving on any highway or road, you get traffic jam, and sometimes you are time bad, and you have to come maybe for this show, and then suddenly there's just a traffic jam from nowhere. You cannot explain. And therefore, then now you begin to get impatient. You don't know what to do with yourself. You get annoyed. You shout at people. Then at that point, you need to know you're not patient. Because you've gone out of the primary status. Now you're annoyed, you're offended, you are throwing bad words. So you know you've gone out of the arena of patience.
Yeah. So it's not the big things that will test you, it's the small things. It's
very small things.
It's you being at the bank, getting mad.
Yes.
You being on the road, getting irritated.
Or you're making a line. Some years ago, we would make line to be able to be served at any service line providers like the cell phones, or Safaricom or Airtel, and you discover this line is very long. You just needed to be your issue to be fixed very fast, and you move to the next activity. Then you discover the line is very long. You try to talk to the watchman or the security guy to help you bypass.
Yes.
I've heard of even people bribing
Just to get ahead of the line.
Yes, because I think where we are at the moment, the world has no patience.
Right.
We are into quick fix things, whereas patience is a strong virtue.
Right.
But the world has gone very far, and we are not talking about patience anymore. We are talking of, I need it now, I must get it now.
You must get it now. And does this show about how we could be quite selfish?
Selfish, impatient, and therefore we skip many processes that would have given us quality. Yeah.
When we talk about our relationships with others, what does it really entail for you to just be patient with others? We always say, try and be patient with others. What's required of you?
Let's begin from the general friendship.
Yeah.
All of us were brought up we came from different backgrounds. And some of us were taught patience by our parents. Some of us, we were never taught. We just grew up. We ate food and we grew up. And because of that, so you discover you became friends. This one has never been taught. This one has been taught. All along, his parents or her parents have been teaching her how to be patient with people and how to be able to accommodate people.
Right.
So the fact that you do not know their background, you can easily become impatient with people. So for you to be patient with people, then you needed to have learned where they came from, a bit of their story, and their weak area, so that you're able to put in something to give them some strength.
Yeah.
Yeah, so really, we need to know people and understand where they're coming from so that we learn to be patient with them. Equally, myself and even yourself, none of us is perfect.
Right.
And the areas I'm very weak, the areas I'm very strong. So the fact that I'm strong in this area doesn't mean I am strong everywhere.
Right.
And therefore, we need to learn to support one another and be patient. We can never learn to accommodate one another when we're not patient with one another.
And I wonder, even for you as a leader, from a leadership perspective,
yes,
how are you then also able to accommodate all those personalities who you oversee as well?
You know, like in leadership, especially church leadership, I think it's the most wanting area.
I know, because here you are, you're supposed to be this man of God.
Yes.
In fact, you're not even allowed to be upset, are you?
We are not allowed.
You're not allowed to. You can't. You're a pastor.
Yes. So you really have to, sometimes you go home and mama.
Yeah.
To your wife. And you try to offload it at home.
Right, that's true.
But many things test our ability to hold on to where to our main focus.
Yeah.
And sometimes you say this church service begins at 10.
Right.
And 9 you are in church. And at 10:30 you have 2 people who have arrived.
And the congregation has not yet arrived.
Yes, you expect the leaders to be there before 10.
Yeah.
So that we set up everything.
Right.
So you really have to learn to be patient with people and be able to nurture them to be able to manage time properly. Yeah. Sometimes it's a great thing to learn that not everybody is like you.
That's true.
Yeah, we are all different.
Yes.
But we can help one another. Doesn't mean you don't keep time, we just be patient with you. We have to teach you to manage time properly.
Right. And that's also another thing. It's like, where then can you draw that boundary between being patient and then now you just being taken as a doormat?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, patience, in other translation, the Bible talks of patience as long-suffering.
Right.
Meaning suffer for long.
Wow. Okay.
Without getting distracted.
Right.
Yeah, so I am patient with you as I work towards improving you. I think that's the main key, the key word for, the key meaning of patience. I am patient with you to help you to arrive to where you're supposed to be or where I expect you to be.
Right.
Yeah, so the patient doesn't mean you keep on mismanaging time and I'm just quiet. I am patient with you to bring you from where you are to where you're supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah, so I process you patiently. Yes.
Another area that you would also find, Dr. is in relationships, And when we talk about relationships, we talk about marriages, we talk about, let's say, even in the dating world. Hopefully, yes, it does get to the level of marriage.
Yes.
But you do find that couples tend to lack also this thing called patience, or even practicing it seems to be, yes, quite the suffering.
Yes.
How then do you grow that patience with your spouse, with your better half, as we like to call them? Because some people just feel like, I can't take this anymore, and you've only been married a year. How are you expected to do the other 45 years ahead?
Good.
Yeah.
You know, when you're dating before marriage,
right,
the man keeps time more than the woman.
Oh, really? Okay.
For
I'll give you that one. Yes.
any kind of appointment,
yes, yes,
any kind of a visit, any kind of travel, the man is there 1 hour before time.
That's true.
The lady would push herself and be there trying maybe occasionally on time,
yes,
but most of the time late.
Yes.
We, as men, we are patient with the ladies in that. And as you grow into relationship now, this relationship now matures into marriage.
Right.
There is need to sit together and learn one another. And tell your husband or your wife, my friend, this area, I am not able to stomach it.
Yes.
Kindly, let's work on it so that we help one another improve on this. There is no perfect couple.
Right.
There is no perfect marriage. But when you look at Christ, as the husband of the church, the man must take Jesus as the example of a good husband. So that he learns to love his wife and to patiently work with her to make her the woman he desired her to be.
Right.
And therefore, this requires patience. Patience is like, it is the fuel that marriage runs on.
So the solution is not to leave this one.
They are all the same.
I leave Hirbo today. I go, I get Jeff, then when I'm tired of Jeff, again
it won't work.
It will not work, yeah.
There is no perfect man. And there's no Mr. Right.
Yes.
There's no day you'll find the perfect person who needed to marry you.
Yeah.
It's you guys to sit together and patiently work through together to perfection.
That's true.
Yes.
And everybody has their own rules of engagement, so I hear.
Yes, true. There are those who say, he must buy me a car. He must buy me a house. I need a tall brown guy.
Yeah.
I need a short lady. I need one who's working.
Yes.
I would want to marry a woman who's financially independent.
Yeah.
I don't want stress on my life. You get married and you discover all those things are just what do you say? Theory. Theory.
True.
Get married.
I like that. I like that. So it really does require, like, patience is top.
It is a virtue. It is fuel. It is the fuel that marriage runs on. Or generally, the whole life runs on.
That's true.
You can never eliminate patience and expect to go along with friends or even in marriage or even with your children. We have children who are really rebellious.
Yes.
It takes a patient parent to be able to learn and bear with this child and be able to work with this child, knowing that this is a rebellious baby or son or daughter. Grow them and work with them to a level where they can discover themselves and make a turn back.
Right.
And see, Jesus is the perfect example of a patient husband or father.
Yes, that's true.
Well, so when you look at him, you're able to learn a lot of it.
Okay.
We have rebellious Christians. We have people who do funny things. At the same time, appear in church.
Yes.
And I think if all pastors would see how their Christians live weekdays,
yes,
they would not be patient with them.
It's true.
They will just preach, I think, fire.
Yes, it's true, because most of us are Sunday Christians.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
But you can imagine, God sees all these things.
That's true.
And He's patient with us.
He's patient with us.
God is patient. He bears with us, but not for eternity.
Not for eternity.
Yes.
All right. There's one other type of patience that I want us to get into real quick, and that is patience with ourselves. You know, sometimes we're really good at advising our friends, our family. We can always tell them what to do and tell them, don't worry, everything will be okay. But why do we find it so hard to translate the same message to ourselves in regards to the mistakes that we make and our shortcomings?
Quite often we are impatient with ourselves because we never look inside. We are always looking outside.
Yeah.
So there are moments you need to do self-analysis of yourself and see how many friends you lost and how many friends you are attracting to yourself. And why are people complaining about you? Why is it that everywhere you step, you lose people? You lose friends, or you make no friends.
Yeah.
You are new in this company, you have no friends. In your church, you have no friends. And even the ones you had, you lost. There is need for you to look inward. We call that taking audit of yourself.
Right.
You audit your character.
Right.
Look at what you say so that you are able to see. Look at what you do and look at how you manage your life.
Yeah.
How do you begin a day?
Right.
People who are impatient with themselves are very ungrateful. They wake up complaining, they go to bed complaining. They never have enough, they never have anything good. And
is that why ultimately they find it hard to even forgive themselves?
Yes, they discover the area in which they condemned people, they also fell in the same situation.
Right.
And they imagine how they condemned the other friend who messed something or somewhere, and they discover they are also there. So they don't know how to forgive themselves and how to reconcile with themselves.
Right.
And therefore they are unable to make friendship because they're hurting. It's the hurting people hurt every people.
That's true.
Hurting persons hurt other persons.
Yeah.
So they are hurting inside. There is need for them to be helped to reflect inward.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, you know, I mentioned earlier on that actually being patient not only helps you just as a person, but believe it or not, researchers are actually linking this to good health. And because we have a pastor/doctor in studio, I'm sure you can actually relate to this. Because recent studies have found that, sure enough, good things really do come to those who wait. But there is science backing the benefits of being patient. And maybe we can go through some of these points and you can tell me what you think.
Yes.
It says that patient people enjoy better mental health.
Yes.
The idea of being a red face, head steaming, can literally be doing damage to your mental health.
True.
Yeah.
Let's begin from the heart.
Yeah.
Then you can go to the head. Impatient people are ever stressed. They are under pressure.
Right.
Either to achieve a goal or they feel distracted.
Right.
Simply because maybe a vehicle crossed their way and they were delayed by 5 minutes.
Yeah.
They are now upset. Once you're upset, you release stress hormones in the blood stream or in circulation.
Yes.
Once we have stress hormones, the concentration of blood is increased. So now blood circulation has higher concentration than the surrounding tissues from the muscles and other parts of the body.
Right.
Now, in those areas, like the muscles and other tissues have lower concentration. And we always say, in the basic science, fluids flow from areas of low concentration to areas of high concentration by osmosis.
Right.
So now, because the blood circulation or the blood in circulation has higher concentration, now it attracts more fluids from the other part. Then as it attracts, the volume increases.
Right.
So the heart has to use more pressure to pump out blood.
Right.
Simply because you are stressed through impatience, you have released stress hormones, which has increased the concentration of blood circulation, or blood in the concentration in circulation, and that has attracted more fluids from other tissues. High blood pressure now comes up.
Yes. Okay.
In essence, you develop high blood pressure, hypertension, and besides that, you have now, as concerns mental health, you have little tolerance. You are intolerant with people.
Right.
You get mad at everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patience helps us achieve our goals. And this is the last one we'll get into because of time.
Yes.
How does patience help us achieve our goals? The road to achievement is a long one, and those who are without patience want to see results immediately. You talked about that earlier on.
Yes.
But actually being patient allows you to position yourself in the right manner in order to grow. You
Yes.
can talk about that real quick, and then we can wrap up.
Okay. You know, achieving a goal is not an event. It is a process. And so if you are a quick fix guy, you'll try to escape or skip these processes. You never get the best. But if you went through the normal processes that requires patience, you'll be able to achieve the best of the results you desired for your goal. Okay? So this is where the world is now. Right. Everybody wants to become a millionaire overnight. And that's why we have a lot of shortcuts.
Yes.
And these shortcuts have killed us. We have lost very potential people because of using shortcuts. But if we go through processes, these processes require you to wait patiently, finish with this process from here, next stage, from that next stage, the next place.
And you will surely
get the best of what you desire.
All right. Okay, so Dr. Hirbo, tell us real quick, how then can one actually start to practice patience on a daily basis? How do we cultivate it very quickly, and then we can say goodbye?
From the faith point of view, we say Jesus is the perfect example of a patient husband, father, or person.
Right.
He's been patient with everybody. We can look at him and develop it. But besides that, on top of that, for us to develop or cultivate patience, we really have to understand the environment in which we live in.
Okay.
And the processes that are involved in life, so that you prepare your mind to be patient.
Right.
But as regards personality or character, on how you interact with people, it is important that you get someone to do checks and balance on you.
Right.
So that they see to, if it's your husband, then your wife has to do that. If it's the woman, then the man can better do that. Yeah, and with time, we will arrive there.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I want to thank you for actually taking time to be with us this morning.
Thank you.
We do appreciate you coming to talk to us about patience. We hope that you enjoyed, of course, our discussion, courtesy of Dr. Hirbo Huka, talking to us about how to cultivate patience and what it really does do for you as an individual and those around you. And with that being said, as always, you know we have a quote for you at the end of every session. And I'm going to ask my director to slap that on the screen real quick. Okay, and we do have this one coming in. Of course, it's, I do understand, an anonymous, of course, speaker. And the quote of the day: patience is not the ability to wait, but the ability to keep a good attitude while waiting. I love it. Too bad we don't know who said that, but whoever you are, bless you, bless you, bless you. All right, continue to give us your feedback about Rise and Shine, and of course, any topics that you feel that we should cover right here on the show. You can get in touch with me through my social media platforms at Shiko Kaittany and, of course, at K24 TV. We'll be looking out for your feedback. Speaking about one area you need to practice patience, it's on the roads. Jeff, what do you have to say about that?
Well, the first thing I need to say is, do not worry, we shall keep a good attitude and wait, Shiro, for you to find out who did that proverb.
Yes.
Find out who that anonymous person is. We shall be patient and wait.
Yes.
Another place you need to exercise patience, of course, is on the roads this morning. Let's find out how things are looking. We don't usually talk about this side of town, but we'll do that this morning. Agin Kodek, and as you can see, it's not looking really bad, actually, if you're coming through. Just a bit of orange, of course.